Since Call of Duty World War II, the amount of quality original launch content in a Call of Duty game has gone down. That has sucked in different ways for various reasons to varying degrees, so I'm not here to tell you guys that you shouldn't buy Call of Duty because it hasn't been this good since X year or whatever. No, like, my problem isn't that Call of Duty wants to be a live service franchise and that's Activision's vision for it. That's really how a lot of things are going. That's not my issue. It's that they're charging so much for live service games. Now, a lot of people seem to misunderstand my last video telling me that I was stupid for telling them to wait and that games should be complete upon release. Now, I agree that the game should be playable and it should have enough content on release to warrant its price tag, but really what I was talking about in that video, and I didn't make this clear enough, was mostly balance and design. Like, those things are going to take time because FPS games are a paradox to create, you know? So they're going to get a lot of different feedback from a lot of different people, because with FPS games online, they're designing a game to be fun. Being fun means taking away somebody else's fun, because for someone to win, someone has to lose. And so really the best way to balance a Call of Duty game is to give it to the community and see what they do with it and see how they respond to it, which is why Modern Warfare is so disappointing. It's because they gave it to us, we gave our feedback, and only about maybe 30% or less got taken seriously by the developers. You see, the issue in Cold War is that there is a campaign, which that's fine, that makes the game more timeless, that makes the game more substantial, it's not just, you know, a grinding fest. So you have a campaign, and then you have zombies, which is of course very replayable with your friends, and you know, it's a good co-op horde mode, and you have multiplayer. But multiplayer and zombies have piss amounts of content. And we have one zombies map, and 6 6v6 multiplayer maps, 2 Dirty Bomb maps, and 2 Combined Arm maps. On top of that, it barely feels like there's any new guns from the beta. Like, there's really just like, what, one per category? If not, then none? I know how live service games work, and I don't inherently hate them. I think we've seen some really good live service games over the last couple of years. But my issue is that Activision wanted me to spend $70 on a game that I wanted new content in after the first weekend. Because playing the beta and the alpha, I already experienced all the maps. So the fact that I loaded up the game and there were only 2 new ones, and then I go into zombies and I've already played the zombies map. You know, have I done the Easter egg and everything? No, I'm not really a zombies guy, but I would like some visual variety. I wish we at least could have gotten 2 zombie maps so I could alternate between them, like one remastered map and one, you know, new map. That would have been really nice, but unfortunately that's not the case. And if you enjoy Combined Arms, you're not getting a massively innovative game mode, and also you're only going to be able to play it on 3 maps, one of which is a 6v6 map. Even though Modern Warfare didn't launch with the most amount of content either, we at least had a lot of new experiences. Like Ground War was new to Call of Duty, and you also had the NVG mode, and you also had Gunfight. Those are big deals, and I was so happy to see those there at launch. So even though there wasn't the largest amount of 6v6 maps, I still felt like I was being catered to properly. And also, some of the 10v10 maps were playable in 6v6 game modes, which I really liked. I really liked playing like 6v6 domination on Grozny Raid. Those matches could get pretty intense when competing over the B flag, and I really liked those games. I also still like Hardpoint Arklov Peak, even though it's not balanced at all and it can be really shitty. And yeah, I know there was Anya Palace for 10v10, Anya Palace for Ground War, and then there was Anya Incursion, which was like for 6v6, and I understand that those aren't really like super original great pieces of content, and those things could be criticized. But in contrast to Cold War, it's not really comparable, and I think that Cold War fails miserably in this regard. The game for me came out on Thursday at 10 p.m. And by Friday at 10 p.m., I was already tired of the content. I had already experienced it too much between the beta and the alpha and the launch. And that disappoints the ever-living hell out of me. This game should have at least launched with 4 remade maps, and I'm really scared that the first 4 remade maps we're gonna get are going to be Jungle, Firing Range, Summit, and Slums. I'm terrified of that because I'm tired of seeing those maps. We just got those in Black Ops 4 not too long ago. I really would love to see Hunted, Raid, and Villa. And then they could have launched the game with Nuketown, but the reason they're not launching the game with Nuketown is so that you understand that the best is to come. It's to tell the consumer that you buy the game now and you'll see what it has in store later. That's why we got to see the Season 1 roadmap before the game even came out. Because they knew that the launch of the game was going to be lackluster as hell. Now, I don't think Black Ops Cold War should have been free to play. I just don't think it should have been $70. I think it should have been $40 you know, $20 for the campaign, $20 for zombies and multiplayer. So, you know, that's not bad. And I feel like I'd get my money's worth there to some degree. And then they add content later. They add cosmetics that cost real money. They add a battle pass that costs real money to get all of the proper tiers. You know, I don't mind that. They have to make money. They want to make money, and Modern Warfare made them a shit ton of money. But I don't want to see in 12 months a Call of Duty game launching with this little bit of content for fucking $70. There are people out there that think this should be a free-to-play, or that it looks like a free-to-play, and to those people I feel like they're not very critically minded. I feel like that when they look at a free-to-play shooter, they see a first-person perspective and a gun and people running around aiming and shooting, and they just, you know, it's the same thing in their mind, okay? It's roughly the same experience. No, not at all. There is a lot of polish and a lot of refinement in Call of Duty compared to free-to-play shooters, and yeah, it warrants a price tag. It just doesn't warrant this high of a price tag if they're going to pursue this concept of seasons and, again, games as a service sort of deal. $70 is a lot for an investment, and that's basically what we all purchased if you purchased Cold War at all and didn't return it. So yes, I'm bored of the content already. I'm not really one of those guys that loves to replay the same zombies map over and over and over again, going for the highest rounds possible and the Easter eggs. I'm not one of those guys that is grinding for diamond camo 1 month into the game, or less than 1 month into the game. I think that's kind of asinine, actually. But right now, it feels like the best thing to do is just grind the weapons and just grind the content. It's just a grinding game right now, because it's not like you can just enjoy that new game smell and then wait for new stuff to come out later, and when the new game smell wears off, then you sort of want to grind for something new. But it's like, no, like, there's really nothing new here, especially, again, if you played any of the betas or alpha. So, yeah. It's a massive disappointment, and I don't feel like people should be buying this game until after Season 1 drops. If you did purchase it and you're not willing to return it, then we're just in the wait-and-see sort of position here, and it's an uncomfortable one to be in, and I'm not saying it's irredeemable. I mean, these seasons could be packed full of maps and fun content. They could do like 3 maps at the start of the season, and then another map later in the season, so the season feels like a really substantial thing. You know, they could do that, and it could be really awesome, but until we see that, a lot of people are going to be upset that they spent their money on this, and they have every right to. Again, when it comes to design and balance, that stuff's going to be tweaked based on our feedback and their data that they collect from us. I don't mind that too much. That's how every online FPS game is. I mean, COD Mobile and Warzone are both free, yet this costs $70. And a lot of you are going to be saying, boom, it's because of the pandemic, it's because of the current year we're in, and that's why the game is lackluster. Okay, that's a valid reason. And maybe it's because of the drama with Sledgehammer, also a valid reason. If that is the case, then they still should have reduced the price before launch. Okay, regardless of the reason, the result is the same. When you buy a product and it's not what you wanted or not worth what you paid, you don't take into account that the people that made it might have been having a hard time. If I order food on DoorDash and it comes late and cold, I don't think, well, the Dasher might have had a bad time, or they might have been negligent due to personal reasons at the restaurant, and that's why my food is cold. I don't think that. I think I'm going to go on the app and I'm going to say my food was cold. You know, can I get some sort of compensation on my order because I ordered, you know, hot, steamy, cheese-covered fries, which are really good for you, by the way. But instead I get cold, awful, yucky fries, and I don't want that. So usually DoorDash will give me some sort of credit in return, and I know that video games and food are not one-to-one comparisons, but the mentality's the same. It's that I don't really think about what's going on at the restaurant or with the person delivering my food. I think that I didn't get what I paid for. And with Black Ops Cold War, I don't think any of us, if we paid full price, we did not get what we paid for. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.